Good evening, everybody. Welcome to It's All Black and White TV, and this is the match review. I don't know what happened there. It was going slow for some reason. Sorry about being late tonight, guys. Had a few technical issues there, but I've now got it sorted. So better late than never. That's what I'll say. Anyway, before we delve into tonight's show, if you do like what you see, please don't forget to smash the like. It does help the channel up the search, and it means new viewers find it more easily. Also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe. Come be part of this great community we got you. Also, hit the bell notification. That tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record or any upcoming shows. If you want to become a member, it's 99p. Do that clicking the join button. And also, if you want to make a donation, do that in chat, clicking on the dollar sign. All money reinvested back in the channel as well. Right, let's get into some comments before we get into tonight's show. Boo, says Andrew. Yeah, just to let you know, in case anybody's interested, Salford City have just took the lead against Milton Keynes Dons, against Mike Williamson's boys. Evening all says, Beer, evening beer, hope you're well. Hi, Tony, says Ian. Hi to you, Ian. Nice win for Celtic. Evening, Tony and all. Good evening, Lee Kelly. Wacky Angler, evening, everybody. Evening to you, mate. Hope you're well too. Pete's in the chat. Hi, Pete. Hope you're well, mate. And hope you enjoyed the game yesterday. He's fell asleep. He's asleep. Oh, Tony's fell asleep. No, I haven't fell asleep, mate. I'm here. I was just having a few technical issues, but I just managed to get sorted out. So, Tony Leahy's listening to Paul Gallant's. No, certainly not. No. Happy birthday, Julie. Yes, happy birthday, Julie J. 21 again. And you know what? Fantastic. Hope you've had a great day, Julie. And to come on here to even share your birthday on here. Hello, says Peter WW. Hello to you, mate. I hope you're well. Ian says, evening all. Good evening, mate. I hope you're well too. Brian says the fencing is back at the East Stand. The owner's obviously playing games to get some cash for the redevelopment of St James's Park. Hilarious. Hi, guys, says Clarky. No problem, mate. I hope you're well. Ian says, yes, had a great weekend at the footy, Tony. Absolutely. Evening, Tony and Jack. Good evening, Alan. Hope you're well. Hi, Ian. Just a Pepsi Max. I'm on the strong stuff. Water. Surprised the man your fan is nonsense, Mason. God. Well, John is not a Man U fan, but he will be joining me later on. So he's currently on another show at the moment, John. He wants 10 million apparently. Andrew said, I put a bent on the fence has gone purely as a safety issue. It has to be, hasn't it? And everybody's saying happy birthday to Julie. And absolutely happy birthday, Julie. Right, so yesterday's game at St James's Park, we took on Tottenham in an early kick-off at 1:30. Normally it's 2 p.m. and a 4:30 p.m. Isn't it, on a Sky Super Sunday? But for some reason, it was a 1:30 kick-off. And this is the team that Newcastle went with yesterday. Now, when we did the pre-match yesterday, we weren't too impressed with this side. We're still a bit bemused why Hall was dropped and Kelly was in, and why Tonali wasn't even starting. I did say maybe Tonali's not starting because he had 60 minutes of Forest, and maybe Eddie just wants to give him a bit of a break. Because remember, yes, he's trained for 10 months, but he's not certainly had the match fitness. So, and that's exactly what he needs. But look, that was our team, and there is the Tottenham team as well. Just a reminder of their team yesterday as well. No Van de Ven for them, but Dragosin came in, and and still no Solanke, who's injured. So that is the Spurs lineup. I mean, look, let's be honest. We started off pretty well, you know, and I didn't think it was going to be one of those games where we were going to go out there and win 4-0 or 6-1, you know. But it certainly started off as a is a game I thought, yeah, okay, we need to get the first goal here, you know. Give Tottenham their credit, they attacked as well. But look, we did take the lead, and excellent goal from Harvey Barnes. Comes on the throw, and the cross comes from Lloyd Kelly, who I must admit, Lloyd Kelly, I was a bit surprised. He didn't have I don't think he had a bad game. I thought he wasn't too bad. Not scintillating best, but I didn't think he done too bad, if I'm honest. But the cross he put in for Harvey Barnes was fantastic, and the control and vision from Barnes to steal that ball past Vicario. Great goal from Harvey Barnes as well. So pretty happy with that. And then at 1-0, you're thinking, right, okay, now let's go and try and kill this game off and get the second goal, you know. But again, we sit back again and we invited Spurs on. And that's the problem. We're just inviting teams on all the time. It's like we get the goal, but then we have the start, and then we just sit back. And it gets to half time, and we're just like, it's 1-0 to us at half time. And so it was a bit of a mixed first half. But to go in at half time leading 1-0, was exactly what we wanted. And I thought at half time, is Eddie going to make any changes yet? Do you think Eddie will maybe take Longstaff off at half time? Or will he leave Longstaff on? Because I thought maybe he'd take Longstaff off, because wasn't he on a yellow card as well? But no changes were made at half time. And second half starts. And Spurs they come on the attack to us, and that's fair enough, because they need to get into the game somehow. And then on 56 minutes, we see a shot comes in, and I don't know why Pope doesn't catch it. He just seems to parry it, and then it comes back across the box, and obviously there's a Tottenham player coming up behind Dan Burn, and Burn's panicking, and he tries to kick the ball. Instead of trying to kick it away, it actually goes into his own net. So Spurs get a rather fortuitous equaliser. I thought Brennan Johnson came on for Spurs, and I thought he made a difference to Spurs. He livened them up at the front. But yeah, I mean, look, the own goal, as I say, was unfortunate from Burn. Good save from Pope, but I think he could have done a lot better. If you're not going to catch it, try and push it away so nobody can get onto it, and you can get one of your defenders on it. So I thought it was a poor goal that we conceded. And I thought, right, okay, after this has surely got to be the wake-up call now. We've got to wake up now, and we've got the motor on and go and get this win. I've just nipped into some comments before we go back into the game. Just see if anybody said anything. Tyneside Life's done a video on the fence. John's got lost in his auto drive car. Julius is wondering if John's seen the pics of Sir Shadrick and Cashworth Snake. Yeah, I saw them pictures. They didn't look happy, did they? What young Mr. Sinclair? Probably asleep. He looked knackered in his last video. Probably is knackered. Lee says, if that was my patch at the ground, I'd be glad to give it to the club for a season ticket. Yeah, absolutely. James Madison's a cheating little shite, says he. Pete, yes, he is, Pete. I mean, look, Madison, yeah, when nobody's trying to get a penalty, wasn't he? Absolutely. Madison must have taken tips from Burton Diaz, says Coffee. He must have. Not if you're Everton. No, well, if you're Everton, you're not having a good weekend. How did Von not look at that tackle at Easter? That's another thing. Yeah, I mean, look, there was a bit of a foot went in, but maybe it wasn't enough for VAR to overturn it in the referee's favour. I haven't seen the ref watch, so I don't know if that was featured on ref watch or not, but certainly, Yeah, I thought at first it was a penalty, but maybe it wasn't. Madison should be going for gold down at the Olympics, says Julie. Yeah, you must have been taking tips from Tom Daly. There'll be more to come from Barnes this season, says Pete. Do you know what, Pete? I hope so, mate, because I want to see Harvey Barnes do well. Now, Jack, who's a Leicester fan, who I've spoken to on many occasions. I've had him on the channel. I've been on his channel. I met him at the England under-21 game at the Leicester Stadium. And he's a great lad, Jack. And he did say Barnes at times can, although he's a good player, can become inconsistent as well. So, but he said if you can get Barnes firing, he's been one of the best wingers in the Premier League. Could have been a penalty, but Isak should have squared it too, and Barnes would have scored again. Absolutely. Ian Toon Trader, I read lads and lasses, I read Ian, I hope you're well, mate. We seem to panic a bit at times. We certainly do, Lee. Burn panicked yesterday, but, it was one of those things. We don't know how a quick ball slid the surface for Pope not catching it. Again, no, look, I'm not going to criticise Nick Pope, but I thought he could have caught that ball, if I'm honest. It wasn't on ref watch, says, yeah, it wasn't. All right, okay, then. They didn't highlight that then. And people talk to each other there. Yeah, so, look, Tottenham come at us in that second half. And as I say, once they got that equaliser from Brendan Johnson's short cross, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if you quickly go back to the first half as well, Isak had a one where he nearly scored when he nearly chipped the keeper and it just clipped the crossbar, which that would have been one hell of a shot if it, But look, after that, Nick Pope was the busier of the keepers. He tipped James Maddison's effort after he curled an effort in, tipped that away, tipped it over. Pedro Porro's shot as well, that went over. He actually made some terrific saves, Nick Pope, I thought, in that game. He kept us in that game because had those goals gone in, he could have possibly won 3-4, maybe, Joe Linton again was excellent in the midfield with his work. It was his pass that released Murphy, who ran at the defence and crossed low for Isak to net the winner. And look, it was a nice, simple little pass, wasn't it, across the goal from Murphy, unselfish. Murphy could have took the shot on and had a go, but, the end of the day, he decided, no, I'm going to play that across. There's Isak waiting for a nice, simple tap in. And we saw how much it meant to Isak, that goal, when it went in. How pleased he was at getting that goal. People might say, oh, well, yeah, but it's only a tap-in. It doesn't matter if it's a tap-in. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how it goes in. When you're a striker and you haven't had a great start to the season and you haven't gotten a goal and you get a tap-in, that can then send you on a scoring spree. And this could now kickstart Isak into scoring goals. So, so it's not all bad at the end of the day. On that one as well. And I mean, look, there was another move as well, wasn't there, where Gordon was on the left and Murphy got in the box as well, and that little reverse pass from Gordon, what a beautiful pass that was. And that could have gone in the back of the net. So there was lots of positives there yesterday. And then we had Tonali come on, which was absolutely fantastic to see Sandro back on the pitch again in a Premier League game as well. Not to mention War Flags. That was absolutely brilliant from War Flags. But when Tonali come on from 68 minutes, at least he had a good, 27 minutes. So, again, it's just a little bit more in the tank for him as well. Again, obviously, Gordon doesn't seem at the races as such. But Eddie Howe has explained that apparently he's still suffering from not playing at the Euros, so he's still not 100% fit. Obviously, there was there was obviously not only the Euros but also the transfers. So look, a lot's been going on, hasn't it? But do you know what? It doesn't matter how you win a game, as long as you win a game, and that's what you want to win. And look, yes, we're not playing the greatest of football at the minute. For some reason, nothing's clicked as yet. We're no Spurs dominated with the possession they had. 66% possession to our 34%. But you know what? Possession doesn't win your football matches, putting your chances away do. The amount of Spurs chances they had, they spurned. You know, we were there for the taking for them, but they didn't do it. They had 20 shots to our 9 shots. We had 3 on target. We scored with 2 of them. They had 6 on target. We had 3 off target. They had 6 on target. They had 8 block shots and we had 3. Nick Pope made 6 saves to Vicario's 1. So, look, yeah, for all the chances Spurs had, they've done nothing with it. And do you know what it is? I don't mind winning ugly, as I call it, winning ugly, because the great teams of the past, sometimes they don't play the best football, but they're winning games. It's grinding out a result. It's finding how to get that result. And once you get in the habit of doing this and winning, do you know what? If Newcastle went through and say we went through and won the League Cup, and we played absolutely dross all the way through that tournament, and we won the League Cup, would you really care how the performances went? Because I wouldn't. Because at the end of the day, we've got the reward. We got the silverware. We'll have won it, and that's how you win it. You've just got to win ugly at the end of the day. So look, as much as it's bad at the moment that we're not really clicking, but hopefully after the international break, when we start clicking, players will start getting fitter. The internationals, Gordon will definitely play, I reckon, in these internationals because, Lee Carsley rates him really highly. So Gordon will probably play during this international break. Isak's away with Sweden. Kraft isn't going because he's injured. Now he's picked up an injury. Thank God, Cher's back for the Wolves game. I thought Kraft did all right yesterday at centre back, by the way. I didn't think he really done anything wrong. So yeah, I thought Kraft was okay. But as I say, look, just to win like that, to win ugly, I don't care how we win games, as long as we win in the games and you're getting the results at the end of the day. That's all that matters. All right, I'm just going to nip into some comments here. John should be joining me very soon, indeed. Do you think Pope's still worried about his hand? I don't think so, Lee. No, not at all. No, look, I just think it was. I just think it was unfortunate. I just thought it was an unfortunate error from him. And look, the end of the day, he produced marvellous saves after that, so I'm not really that worried. If Dubravka had been in goal, we'd have conceded 7. I mean, look, Coffey, we could well have conceded because for some reason there was no way I would have thought Dubravka would have got anywhere near some of them that Pope got near. I mean, he was absolutely fantastic yesterday, Nick Pope. I must admit, he saved us from getting a beating. That's for sure. One thing I am going to pop up, I'm going to pop up a picture in a moment, and look, I just think again, this is class. This is class from obviously our fans. And I'm sure one Sandro Tonali would have loved seeing that. I mean, look, that is brilliant from More Flags yet again. Midfield maestro from Milano. I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. Great touch from More Flags again. Great display. ideal for the cameras as well for Sky. Glad they mentioned that as well. So yeah, absolutely fantastic from More Flags yet again. Isak's chip at the start was, yeah, it was immense. That if that had gone in, that would have been one of the goals of the season already, wouldn't it? Even Vicario's panicking. Good to go on this break with a winning buzz, big 3 points. Absolutely, Alan. I mean, 7 points from 3 games. Would I have took that in these first 3 games? Definitely. I definitely would have. I would have said, you know, I would have took that. I would have said, yes, we'll get 2 wins and a draw somewhere along the line. If we'd got 9 points out of this lot, I would have said even better. But the fact we got 7 points, I'm not worried about that. That is a brilliant start. Despite the shit transfer window we actually had, because that transfer window was absolutely dross, let's be honest. And, does anybody else think the owner should come out and make some sort of statement about the transfer window? Or do you think they don't need to make any statements? Do let me know your thoughts on that one. I mean, yes, after the game yesterday, Jamie Rubin put out a tweet yesterday. He said, so proud of that result today. We have a brilliant manager, a group of players, and together with management, ownership is committed to delivering highest levels of football at NUFC for our supporters who give up so much of their time and money to support this great football club. There will always be bumps along the road, but we are one united team in our pursuit of that ambition. Now, he mentions the ambition in that tweet, and he mentions the fact that we pay good money. Supporters who go pay good money, and they're committed to delivering the highest levels of football. Now then, if that's what you're committed to doing, then why was the transfer window so bad? And, somebody needs to come out. Maybe there's been meetings today with the Asabi in there, and who knows, but somebody has to come out and say what is actually happening, why we got through this transfer window without getting the right winger in, without getting the right side centre back. Now, it has been said today that Steve Parish has actually come out and said that he had no intention whatsoever in selling Mark Gee to Newcastle United, and he was stringing Newcastle along all the time. So what he done was he kept moving the goalposts. And if that is true, what he's been doing, then I'm sorry, don't ever deal with Palace ever again. Stuff him. Next season, next summer, Gree's going to be worth nowhere near the money he wants for him. And he'll end up losing him free, and I hope he does. And I hope, do you know what? If that's the way he is, Parish, if that's how he's playing it, because he's getting back at over the Dougie Friedman thing, then I tell you what, I hope Palace get relegated. I really do. Sandro, yeah. And State in the crowd played a part in the referee favouring more team as effing pathetic. And well, yeah, he is absolutely. But he did come out and praise Nick Pope, by the way, Ange Postecoglou, and he said, he says if it wasn't for Nick Pope, he says we could have scored. He says, but he stopped everything we threw at him. Biasi's at War Flags display was crazy. The advertising boards rolled over to have gamble responsibly on them. Does it have that on that one, does it? Hang on, I'll just remove your comment. I'm not sure if it does on that one. No, it doesn't on that one, but yeah. I bet that, that didn't look, that's not very good if that was the case, but, it can't be helped, can it? Knew it was Southgate's fault, says Julie. Gordon's been Southgated, absolutely. Was I right? Us winning Tottenham and 2 weeks coming back stronger, absolutely, Colton. I had in my Super 6, I had us down to win 3-1 against Spurs. But we won 2-1. I was hoping for that third goal, but it didn't come. But at least one thing on the Super 6 at work, I'm actually top of the league, so long may that continue. Ali Coffey says that Burn on goal could have been dealt with better. It was going off target after Pope saved it second time. It was, but Burn panicked, didn't he? Because he had somebody behind him. Not much break for players for Australia, Japan, Salah Cup off the back of a hard season. Yeah, I agree, Wacky Angler. I don't think that trip to Australia should have happened at the end of the season. And the reason Eddie Howe played the kids against their A-League All-Stars because it was supposed to be Chelsea who were going there. But Chelsea thought they might have been in the FA Cup final, so that was cancelled. So we had to play that game. Bit of a useless game to play, really. Gordon probably still shook up after his bike ride. Man U win games ugly. Well, they do. Well, when they win games. Don't think Kraft's injured. They're just protecting him. If Trippier leaves at right centre back and right back cover. Yes, there's talk of Trippier. I mean, there's clubs in Saudi and in Turkey after Kieran Trippier. Do you think we'll let Kieran Trippier go? I'm not so sure. Do we let him go? But they want him on loan, and that's the problem, isn't it? If it was a buy-in, if they were buying him, then I would say maybe. Kraft played all right since coming in, yeah. As long as we bag the 3 points. What Young said, I don't think Kraft is injured. I think he's just trying to prevent injury in case anything happens to Share. He had a long, hard season last year with bare bones squad and not much downtime. Absolutely. War Flag's outstanding yesterday. Big thumbs up to them. Madison's a dirty little cheating diver. He won the simulation game on Radio 5's SOS yesterday. Loved the Tonali flags, absolutely. Colton says, just shows we have to look abroad for players if Premier League teams don't want to do proper deals. This is what I've said all along. We know Eddie Howe is a bit stubborn and he likes the English Premier League players. But unfortunately, you've got to go abroad at times and you get better players abroad. I'm not saying there's no good players in the Premier League, but what I'm saying is you get them for a better price abroad. You know? Look how cheap we've got Tonali in a way, 55 million. Tonali's worth a lot more than 55 million quid, let's be honest. And once he's in full floor, once Tonali's in full floor, we'll see what a world-class player he is. Lee says, get rid of Darren Eales and bring back Amanda Miedad. Darren Eales, I think, is a problem as well, yeah. Scouting network needs improving. 3 or 4 options for each target as backup. Yeah, and this is what I've said. Look, why aren't we going in the South American market? Why aren't we looking at the South American players? You know, we've just found out today that Miodrag Pivas, who we signed from Serbia, the defender, he's now gone out. He's now gone out on loan to the Eredivisie with Willem too. So good luck to the lad, and let's see how he gets on there. And making much sense as a brush kangaroo. Absolutely. Ronald says, Parish come with the media expecting Liverpool to enter a bidding war, blatantly obvious. Yeah. Shitbag have done that. Absolutely. Absolutely is. Because, look, if that's what Parish is doing, let him get on with it. The guy can go and do one as far as I'm concerned, and I don't want to ever see us do any deals with Palace no more. That is it now. Because that man is poison. Let's be honest. Right, John's popped in the backstage, so I'll bring John on. Hi, John, how are you?
How are we doing, Tony? You good? Just came off of Harry's podcast. And let's be real, I think that guy, if you do get a chance to watch his channel, hit Scarfy Spurs Talk. You had him before, Tony. That guy, 16 years of age, he is amazing and he speaks a lot of sense. He's the real one. And I'll tell you what as well, he is better than some of the trolls we've had today. Bosh.
Yeah, I mean, John, it's come out today. Steve Parish deliberately stopped us getting Gwee. Apparently he was playing games with us. Obviously over the Friedman saga, that we didn't get Friedman through the door. and he thought he'd just play messing about with Newcastle United, and he's succeeded, and he thinks it's hilarious, apparently, John. What do you make of that?
I'll be honest with you, Tony. I'm not big up to Eden in the chat, by the way. I love you all. Bless up, Eden. Bless up in the chat as well. I hope you're well. And yeah, I mean, Steve Paris, I would not do deals with him ever again, because the way he treated us, right? I mean, look, we know offering good money, right? We know Steve Parish is a difficult guy to deal with, yeah? But we've been chasing this guy for a month, for about a month, right? And we could have gone on to other targets. I've said this before. We spoke about it before, man. Just move it along. Move it on, yeah? Go to somewhere else as well. You got players like, it was a Logan Costa, yeah? And Mike Chow, yeah? We could have worked hard on him, do you know what I mean? Other defenders as well. Or even Joachim Anderson if you pay off of 30 mil. But I think he is an absolute nightmare, this owner. And do you know what? I would never, ever do business with this guy ever again. So if they come to us and say, look, do you want to reduce price on Gay? I like Mark. I'm going to be gutted for him. But don't do business with this guy. Because I've got a feeling now that Gay, he have 12 months left on his contract and he'll end up going to Liverpool, because Liverpool are looking for a centre-back as well. Van Dijk could well be on his way next. This was his last season. Look, someone younger, yeah? But it's going to be hard, Tony. It's going to be hard because, look, Steve Parish, I will never do business with him ever again. Let's be real.
No. Ian says Victor Osimhen's on his way to Galatasaray on loan. Wow.
Season long loan.
What do you think of that? Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm surprised that he's going to Galatasaray, because he could have gone to Chelsea. But you know what? I mean, he's on a Kaniwaka week. I mean, he's rated 110 mil. He's got one left on his contract, or maybe one or two left on his contract. I'm sure he has. But he was never going to be under Conte's plans anyway, because Romelu Lukaku is sat in his place. And also, Osimhen has lost the shirt number as well. So the number 9's gone to Lukaku. And he scored yesterday as well for Napoli. So they won 2-1, 2 90th minute goals and that. So, bosh. And yeah, I mean, you know what it is, right? If you look for a striker, right, this guy has got a lot. Yes, he's injured a lot, but he's been brilliant for Napoli over the years. And obviously, Conte is there now, and he's never going to fit in this plans, unfortunately. So he has done at Napoli.
Yeah, absolutely, John. I mean, I haven't seen you, obviously, because now the transfer window shut. My rating of that transfer window is a 1 out of 10 for me, because it was a shambles. 0 for you, John?
0 to me, Tony. Absolutely 0. We didn't fix up what we needed. We needed a centre-back. We didn't get anyone. We needed also a right side of mid. We didn't get it over the line. Yeah, I'm not being funny, right? But we've got 2 keepers. Where are they? They tried to get rid of Rakadimos, right? On loan. Couldn't get it over the line. Yeah. Lloyd Kelly was free buy. That was always going to happen. Yeah. Cool. You know, I think he's done all right since he's been here. I can't lie. But, and it's good to see Tonali back as well. We've got Sula as well, the 15 mil, right? As a young'un, yeah. Not in the first team as well. So I think it's been a poor transfer window all over. I'm not going to blame the players that's come in. Cool. But Tony, I've always said, right, I was going to be brutal. Yeah. If we don't have a good transfer window, I'm going to be brutal. I'm going to be absolutely honest and straight to the point. 0 all day long. I'm sorry, because I'm not impressed. Now, Eddie Howe's not to blame here. He's not to blame here. It's not being backed. Yeah. It's not being backed. Yeah. I mean, Darren Eales, right? I mean, look, I know people's going to jump on this, right? This is a risky thing I'm going to say, right? And people want to jump on this, right? Cool, carry on. Yeah. But Darren Eales, right? I've totally effed it up. He said it's going to be an active transfer window. Yeah. Or Dancing Darren. Yeah. Dancing Darren, I'll call him, right? But at the end of the day, right, for me, he says it's going to be an active transfer window. And it hasn't. And Eddie's been let down big time. Yeah.
Darren Eales' words exactly were, This will be a transformative window, and we will spend within the guidelines of PSR. The way I look at that guy, you know what I say to Darren Eales? You're a liar, because where's the money spent? Oh, hang on. The last day of the transfer window, we tried to panic buy getting Anthony Elanga in, offering 35 million, then 50 million for him, and Forest turned both bids down. And I'm glad Forest did that, because do you know what it is? One, they wouldn't have had time to get another right winger in. Two, they wanted a player from us, but we refused. And so look, that to me shows that was a panic buy, Elanga, at the end of the season, end of the transfer window. All they were trying to do that was because they knew there was a lot of unrest from the fans. They knew there was criticism, and they thought, how can we stop this criticism? Let's soften the blow. Let's go and get Elanga, see if we can get him. If we offer 15 million, Forest won't turn that down because we only paid 15 million for him last season, so they ain't going to turn 50 million down. Well, how wrong were we? So look, I'm pleased that they turned that down. I mean, what about you, John?
You know what it is, right? If you wanted to get to Elanga, right, and I said this to someone today or the other day, right, why do you not get him when we sold Elliot Anderson? Yeah, do a straight pair swap, right? Elliot Anderson go one way, Elanga come to us with 15 million quid. Yeah, you know what I mean? And another thing is, right, if that is true, I thought it's bad crack. Get to Elanga at the last minute. Why not get Elanga when Elliot Anderson moved on? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Forest are laughing at us. Laughing at us, yeah, because they must be thinking we're absolute idiots. Like, yo, you can have Lacademos. Come. You can have him, yeah. We didn't need a keeper, Tony. We didn't need a goalie at all whatsoever. So whose decision to get a goalkeeper in, right? There's got to be questions, man. Yeah,
it was a PSR deal, John. That's why.
There's other places could have gone.
It was like Forest scratched our back, we scratched their back.
I understand that, but come on, man. I just no way, right? I mean, we should have got Elanga over the line if they wanted Elliot Anderson. Now they got a better deal, yeah. But what really blasts us off, yeah, is getting rid of Elanga as well, where someone else could have got rid as well. They got Colton, by the way, yeah. I'm being real. I'm saying it straight. I'm not going to call it out, yeah? I'm sorry. But Darren Eales, right? I don't want to have a go at people, but he failed. Paul Mitchell, I'm not going to have a go at him, right? Because he just joined the club, yeah?
Yeah.
Can't it? He's just getting on the
table. A lot of people, John, are firing at Paul Mitchell saying, well, I thought he was an elite sporting director. He's not that great. Get rid. And I thought, well, hang on. The guy's been here 4 weeks. Give him a chance,
You've got to give the guy a chance.
Yeah, I think it's Eales is the one who signs all these deals off. So what's he doing? And what about the reports that Craig Hope put out, John, where he said that Darren Eales is actually forced Amanda Miedel out of the club? He split the club at the top because he wanted control. Do you believe that, John, or do you think that's true, or what? I mean,
Well, I read the Craig Hope article, right? I mean, the one thing Craig has got right when he should not have been in Stack, yeah? Now, if he went... look, people think I'm going to go at Darren Eales. I'm not. But all it is, if you went to a different club like Arsenal, they still having to go at Edu for not getting deals over the line, yeah? If you went to a bigger club, there would be questions, yeah? But here we are. We're not allowed to say anything. We're not allowed to say anything. We just got to move on and just be happy. Well, if we know something right at the club, we got to call it out and say it how it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. And by the way, Fox, I did not call down a pork chop. I did not call him a pork chop, my guy. Yeah. But look, at the end of the day, we can all make mistakes. We can all have we can all make one bad move. I get that, but it can't go on forever and ever and ever. However, right? Look, I love Newcastle United. I want the best in Newcastle United. Yeah. I just hope, right, next season, right, there's going to be players go out the door. We have got to fix up real quick. I'm just seeing if I can. Yeah.
Before you came on, John, I just read this was from Jamie Rubin yesterday.
Yeah,
right? Man. And I'll explain it. So he puts out a tweet and he says, so proud of that result today. We have a brilliant manager, group of players, and together with management, ownership is committed to delivering the highest levels of football at Newcastle United for our supporters who give up so much of their time and money to support this great football club. There will always be bumps along that road, but we are one united team in our pursuit of that ambition. Now, he's talking about the ambition. He's talking about how he wants the high levels of football. What I want to see from the owners, either Jamie Rubin or Yasser, who's at the top of the tree, I think us fans deserve to know a statement as to why that transfer window was shambolic and what happened, why there was mistakes, why players didn't come through the door. If Eddie was offered alternatives, why didn't Eddie accept the alternatives? You know, I think something should be said. Do you, John?
Well, I think I've got to kind of agree because, if you're going to tell us one thing, right, it's going to be an active window and it hasn't happened, then we need to ask the question why it hasn't happened. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah.
And then the thing is, though, right, don't tell us one thing and then the next minute come back. But like I said, we can all make mistakes. We could all have one bad season transfer window. I get it. But the bottom line is, Tony, I'm going to say this now, right? We need to fix up in January, if not the very latest in the summer. Yeah. And also, I know people want Eddie Howe out of the club. Yeah. I still think he's got something to offer, Eddie. Do you know what I mean? I think he's being hung out to dry and he needed a backing.
Mason saying, how's you after getting battered at Liverpool?
Wow, that's awful. Mason. That's awful yesterday. Well, that was awful yesterday. That team, I'm going to be honest with you, it's the worst United team I have seen. And I've said that year in, year out, yeah? They just got to Gatti today as well. And I'll tell you what, Ten Hag's under big pressure. Big pressure.
Well, they're only 2 points above the drop zone. Just saying.
Yep.
If they hadn't beat Fulham, they would have been in the drop zone. Gary says, good evening, Tony and John. Good evening, Gary.
Big up to Gary D, by the way. Bless up, man. Bless up.
I mean, I did... say sorry about Casemiro, John. He was awful.
He was funny, yeah. I tell you what, Real Madrid, right? I'm not going to lie. Don't get rid of great players that they think they're not going to take it any further. They absolutely fleeced United for 70 mil.
They did.
67 million. Absolutely fleeced them. Real Madrid, they're the best club in the world, in world football today, yeah? The best club in world football. And you know what? They don't believe in... There's no phase 1s, 2s, or 3s, or 4s, or 5s. There's no project, right? You get on with it. You either win the thing or you're out. But Ancelotti, he's done a fantastic job there.
I mean, Alan wrote a comment earlier. He says, what do you think the chairman had to say? Not happy? Or I would hope... Now, this is the way I'm going to put this now. Now, we're just looking at different things that was around, if it's true or not. But look, I think the chairman Yasser needs to say to get Darren Eales, Paul Mitchell, Eddie Howe, all in a room and say, right, okay, what's gone on with this transfer window? Even Steve Nixon, why is it being shambolic? What has gone on here? Why is no money gone out? Why we're not spent? And then if they say, well, look, we looked at different options of defenders and we offered them to Eddie Howe, but he didn't want them, then Yasser needs to say to Eddie, sorry, Eddie, but if we've got to look for alternatives, you're going to have to accept an alternative. Now, we looked at alternatives, and some of them were better than what Guehi was. But because Eddie didn't want them, because they're not in the Premier League, and this is where Eddie's stubbornness has got to start easing. He's got to start looking and thinking, we have to start looking abroad because the Premier League are going to rip us off at every attempt now. Our teams are just not going to bother doing business. So what is the point of trying to buy players in the Premier League if they don't want to sell them on to us? What do you think, yes, I would have to say, John? Do you think I'm right what I'm saying, or do you think you would say something different to that?
Yeah, I'm going to kind of agree again with you, Tony. I kind of agree with you, man. Just, so it has to be done, Tony. It needs to be done because I tell you what, not only that, Gary Neville made a good point. We're losing academy players to European sides as well. And
I'm going to come on to him in a bit, John.
This carries on. Go on.
Yeah. I'm going to come on to him in a bit, John. So, but they showed you part on, obviously, the football yesterday on the TV, and they showed you, obviously, Mitchell was sitting one side of Yasser, and Eels was on the other side. Niels was on his phone, and I thought, I bet he's on Indeed looking for a new job.
Yeah, it could be. Well, it could have been. It could have been.
Could be on Indeed. Oh, I'll get my CV on there.
Exactly. Listen, end of the day, I don't want anyone getting sacked.
Yeah, but somebody's got to be held accountable, unfortunately. Mark Thompson says we should have been smarter than to hang around on the Gay deal. We have been able to read the room and move on. If it was the other way around, we'd be praising our owners for the shithousery. Do you know what, Mark? I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that. We would be happy with the shithousery, but if the reports are true that Eddie Howe was offered options, then these options should have been explored. That's what I'm saying. But whether it is true or not, I do not know. But we'll have to wait and see on that one anyway. Good evening, Tony and John says, Gary, I'll just nip through some comments. Once a player gets 6 months left on a contract, I think he can buy themselves out of it, says Wacky Angler. Maybe. Alan says, can't hold grudges. It's part of football, trying to get opposition staff. Example, Man United pinching hours. Exactly. If he was that good, they wouldn't have loaned him out. Osserman. I thought Osserman was off to Saudi, says Andrew. Because the team that wanted him, you can't. I think there's a limit on how many foreign players you can have in your team, and he would have took them over the limit. So, because they signed Ivan Toney, didn't they? Instead of getting Vlachodimos, we should have got couldn't get a right winger or a centre back from Forest.
Yeah, they still couldn't get they couldn't get rid of Vlachodimos as well over the line on a loan deal. Now we got 1, 2, 3, 5 goalkeepers on our books now. 5 goalkeepers. 5.
Madueke was gettable till a hat-trick. That's the thing, Bia. This is what I said the other day. Why didn't we go in for Madueke a few weeks ago before the season started? And we would have probably gone through the door on a loan with an option to buy.
100%.
But, but like you say, but now they've got Sancho as well. So, Carlton says we have to get a top 4 squad. They just need to believe it. Alan says, might get Botman back sooner than expected and see what Gordon's like on the right. Yeah, I mean, look, Botman, we know he's training. We're not hearing much about what happened with Lascelles, but we know Botman's training. I mean, look, could he be back in a month or 2? Who knows? It depends. Mick says, big up Tony and John Sinclair and everyone in the chat. Big up to you, Mick. Hope you're well.
Mick, love to you, man. Bless up, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Andrew agrees with you, John. Eel's the eel. He's a slippery figure. I mean, look, the thing is, it's all right him going in the stack and dancing with the fans and singing, have you seen him back in Milan and all this? He won't dare show his face in the stack now, because I tell you what, if he goes in that stack, he's going to get some shit thrown at him. And I think, if I'm being honest here, I think if we had lost that game yesterday against Spurs, I think the stadium would have gone toxic, because there would have been probably things shouted Darren Eales, I reckon, in his direction. Not at Eddie Howe, maybe, but definitely at Darren Eales.
The fans didn't have a go at him yesterday.
Did they?
They didn't have a go at him yesterday. When they got the equalising goal, they didn't have a go at him. I didn't think they would anyway, to be fair, Tony. But I'm saying
I think I'm saying if we'd lost John, I think they would have turned.
Quite possibly. Some of the fan base.
Ronald says, I would have slated us if we'd gone for Alanga for 50 million. I mean, yes, stupid, isn't it?
Stupid. I wouldn't pay 50 million. You can go abroad and get. Look at Brighton. They got that. Is it Grada? Grada for Brighton for Mainz. 20 million. Gruda, 20 million quid. And then we got. And then they want Langer 50 mil.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought we tried to get Elanga when Anderson went to first, but they did not want to sell. Exactly. What Yangla says, can someone not get a fan advisory board to tell the thing is, we have got a fan advisory board, and this is a thing that Ronald's come up with the other day, and I think he come up with it yesterday in the pre-match, Ronald. And I totally agree. We've got this fan advisory board, so why aren't they going to the club and saying, right, what is going on? We want a meeting with the owners, we want a meeting with the club, and saying, right, somebody come and tell us what is going on. Why aren't we doing this in the transfer window? Why haven't we signed anybody? And, you know, that's what I'm saying. That's what that fan advisory board's there for, but we don't hear anything coming out of it. Yeah, says pork choppers, that's because he's made a pig's ear of it. No players could come through the door because of that bloody fence. That's wacky angler. There's only one United, and that's Newcastle. Absolutely it is. Worst United team, Newcastle United were better. We know we have 70 million in the bank for January. Well, yeah, absolutely. But the problem is January can be a hard one because everybody puts their prices up in January, don't they? So, yeah. More Salah is our right wing signing in January. Wouldn't mind. I'm only joking, says Julie. Newcastle tax, absolutely. Right, let's see who else has come. Yes, I was going to have roasted them. He would have looked bad at all. The other owners, that's who run PIF. You can see them all at the boxing in Saudi. Yeah, I agree with John, says Predator. When we fell Forest with PSR, we gave them a player that goes straight into their starting 11. We got to keep our no one once. Should have took Elanga then if Eddie really wanted him. True, that's very true, Predator. Sheffield United supporter phoned up about Savage and Sutton calling them United and stated, what I do is Newton Heath, lol. Are you getting any loan fees for players you've loaned out, says Wacky Angler? Well, we know Fraser's joined on a permanent. We know one bit of news today is Jamal Lewis. He's arrived in Brazil ahead of a move to Sao Paulo, which I find a strange move. But you know what? I wish him all the best. Jamal Lewis, before he came to this club, was a decent left back for Norwich City. Liverpool wanted him, but Liverpool wouldn't pay the 15 million. We did. And look, I don't think that lad's become a bad player overnight. I think it was the coaching that's killed him off. I'm sorry. Steve Bruce killed his career. If he didn't have it, if he had gone to Liverpool under Klopp, he would have been one of the best left backs in the Premier League. Look at Andrew Robertson. He left Hull, went to Liverpool, and look how good he is at left back. So Lewis would have been an outstanding left back. Unfortunately, he had the wrong manager in Cabbagehead. Cabbagehead ruins everybody's careers. He ruined Sean Longstaff as well, didn't he? Julie says, I think, yes, I roast them, judging by their faces during the game. Yeah, possibly has done. Yeah, because our faces were not happy. Mason says, are you ETH out? Wacky Angler says, Julie's birthday today, John.
Yeah, just left a message. Very happy birthday, Julie J. Many happy returns, and I hope you have a fantastic time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, look, yeah, I'm going to come to this thing. So, obviously, Gary Neville was speaking yesterday on Sky after the game. After the evening game, which is the 4 o'clock game, which Liverpool absolutely tore apart Man United to our delight. Literally, Liverpool could have won that game 5 or 6-0, if I'm honest. And if they had, it wouldn't have been a bad result because you know. And this is what annoys me, because now they're going on about, oh, look how bad Man U are. It's like, do you know what? I don't care how bad Man United are. I think it's great how bad they are. Let them stay down the bottom end of the table for all I care. You know, their next game is Southampton away, Man United. And I'll tell you now, that ain't going to be easy. And then they've got Palace. And then they've got Barnsley in the Cup. And if Barnsley turn them over at Old Trafford, that'll be Ten Hag out the door. I wonder what... so I wonder what if Ten Hag will still be there by the time we play them. Let's hope so. But anyway, this is what Neville had to say yesterday, and I think this is very interesting, and I'd like people's thoughts on this. And I actually say I'm going to praise Gary Neville, because I actually thought he spoke really, really well. So if anybody hasn't heard it, here it is.
A couple of things here. I think it's the most bizarre transfer window, and I think PSR now is starting to be applied by the Premier League, and that's why we're seeing a lot of clubs, including Manchester United, having to sort of, if you like, navigate around selling players that maybe they wouldn't want to. PSR was never designed so that players had to sell the best academy players, and that's what we're seeing. So it's something needs to change dramatically in this next 12 months in terms of the rules. Also, Newcastle, I think, they should be able to invest in the squad, and they should, again, PSR needs changes so that there is owner investment allowed, so that Newcastle can get to the level of Manchester City and other clubs. We can't just keep a thumb on clubs' heads and say you're not going to invest. Now, what we have to do is do it with security and sustainability in mind. That means the owner funding might have to go in up front, but we can't keep Newcastle's back, and we're holding them back at this moment in time.
Now, I think that was well said from Gary Neville.
Thank you, Gary Neville.
And he said the owner should have had a reset and been allowed to spend and be up there with the likes of Man City. He wasn't frightened to say that. And he said, keeping a thumb on teams like Newcastle United is just hampering our progress. And you know what? It's about time somebody actually come out. Now, if you go on to Behind Sports, Jason McAteer was on there. And he says it'll take a long, long time for Newcastle to get where they want to be. He says, but if they ever get there, he says, typical Scouser. And then Richard Keys piped up and says, so what you're saying is Newcastle will never be elite then, will they?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Jason McAteer has it against us as well, because he said Newcastle will never get to them levels.
Well, all I'm saying is, right, I mean, on Gary Neville first, right? Well said, Gary. Well said. I mean, he's absolutely right. Finally, someone's come out of the Big Six. Now, I know you guys don't like Man U. That's fine. But he's come out, and he is absolutely right. We need to compete with the Man Cities, the Uniteds, and the Arsenals, and the Chelseas, and Liverpools as well, and even Tottenham. Yeah? We need to spend big. We need to compete. Yeah? Because I'll tell you what, Tony, if we didn't have a takeover, I guarantee you one thing, this PSR thing wouldn't happen. It would never happen, because Newcastle's there. They brought in this rule to stop us from competing and upsetting the Big Six, yeah? But one day, Tony, one day, right, we're going to win a trophy. We're going to win a trophy. And I guarantee you now, they're going to have to talk about us. They're going to have to respect us. They didn't like us when we got top four. They hated it when we got top four. Yeah? And Liverpool didn't make it. Yeah? But I think now, right, I mean, you got no European football this season. Yeah? It's a straight 38 game. We're going to go for it this season. We are going to go for it. As long as we play well and pick up, we're going to be fine this season. However, Gary Neville has got it so spot on. Let us compete. Scrap the PSR thing. Ipswich are spending. Southampton is spending. Leicester is spending. Yeah? Fulham is spending. And here we are. We cannot spend. That's exactly where the Premier League has got us. That's what they want, Tony. And as for Jason McAteer, he can just shut the F up, because he's only saying that because he is a Liverpool legend.
Thing is, though, I mean, look, with what Neville said, he's absolutely right. PSR was not there designed for you to sell your academy players, and he's absolutely spot on with that. I don't often agree with things Gary Neville says, but on this occasion, I agree with him 100% on that.
Yeah, he's spot on, Tony.
Yeah, Foxy said, hope Jamal does well. What an experience for a historic club still in the Copa Libertadores quarterfinal. Sao Paulo left back Wellington leaves there in January to join Southampton. Yeah, who agrees, says Alan on that one. Wacky Angler says, never thought I'd say it, but 100% sense spoken by Neville, absolutely. Oh, God, Mason. Ronald says, Gary Neville has the political views of a cabbage, but I agree with him there about us. Absolutely, Ronald. Colton says it's effective at the top 6, that's why, lol. Well done, Neville, well spoken, says Lee. Big question is, will Neville get dropped from Sky for that statement now, says Wacky Angler. Sky wouldn't dare drop Gary Neville, would they? Do you reckon, John?
Should never get dropped for Sky, but nah, no chance. He's too big. He's too big for Sky Sports, man. If they drop him for him to say that, then I think Gary Neville should sue Sky. They should. But Gary Neville speaks his mind. He says it how it is. Whether you like him or not, he speaks his mind. And you know what? I do like listening to Gary Neville because he speaks facts as well. And he is so unbiased. Even when Man U play, he is so unbiased. Yeah? He plays his other team as well. He's level.
Carragher, who was no fan, have said maybe sell him one of our top players, and then again maybe get you near Man City. So Carragher saying that we should sell one of our blue chip players just to get ourselves a bit closer. Wacky says, if I put TV and spit the dog on Carragher's on the TV, it goes off. Same program Neville was on. Bias says fans of all clubs need to unite against PSR. They should do. The other 14 should get together. Do you know what I think they should do, right? And look, I know this probably would never happen because it wouldn't. And I want to get John's thoughts on this. This is what I say we should do. The 14 clubs should all get together and say, right, let the cartel have their Premier League. You can have your Premier League, no problem, cartel. There you go, just the 6 of you. The other 14 will say, we'll pull up the Premier League and we'll set up an English Super League where teams can come up from the Championship. So there'll be a relegation and a promotion. Sod the Premier League, leave it to the 6. They can fight it out season after season, playing 12 games a season they can do whatever they want, They can have that. We'll have an English Super League, and we'll promote some teams from the Championship. We'll make it up to 20 teams. So sod the Premier League. That would be a fantastic idea if that happened. I know for a fact it wouldn't happen. How would you feel about that, John? If 14 teams pulled out of the Premier League and said we're going to have our own English Super League and stuff you in the cartel?
Yeah, I feel I kind of agree. I think we have our own competition. I think we should, if the Big 6 wants to have their own Super League, cool. Let them have a Super League. But if it doesn't work out, don't come back. Yeah, don't come back. Yeah, we have our own competition. Yeah, but ideally, I'd rather play in a 20 team so you can beat the best of the best. Yeah, and let's go for a top 4, top 5 finish, right? And just go for it. But they wanted the Super League, Tony, last season or a year ago, or 18 months ago. They wanted the Super League. But you know what I mean? But they said no. But I tell you what, they were scared. So they got fined. I don't wish they got fined. Something like 5 million or something like that. Or someone daft. But for me, it would never happen. It would never happen. But I think one day, there will be a Super League eventually. I'm sorry to say. But if there's going to be a Super League, we better be in it as well. We better be in it as well. Because we are a big club. Yeah, a big club, right? We haven't won anything for 69 yet. We haven't won a European trophy since 69. Yeah. And it's about time, Tony, you won a trophy. It's as simple as that. We need to win a trophy. You need to flip us a trophy, yeah? To do that, you got to play the strongest team in the competitions as well, whoever they are.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. Please, let's go for it, man. But, would I have a Super League? Probably no, I wouldn't. I still want to be the Premier League, be the best of the best. But all we need to do, Tony, is compete scrap the FFP-PSR, scrap it, yeah? Let us spend what we want, yeah? And then we can compete. But the Premier League is killing us. They're killing the other clubs, like Brighton, Villa, West Ham. We want to compete. We just want to have some joy. And the Premier League's not giving us that joy, yeah? Oh, I'm so passionate when it comes to football now, Tom. I'm sorry.
Right, I'll play this clip, and if anybody hasn't heard this is what Jason McAteer and everybody had to say behind sports. Okay, so I'll just play this now through the microphone.
Well, spend as much as you'd like, or what people think. You know, they are under restrictions. The club's got to grow. I think they've exceeded expectations in that first season, and everyone sort of was on the bandwagon. Oh, here we go. But financial constraints have obviously limited them doing what they probably would love to do, which is obviously go into the market and attract the big names. The club's got to grow to generate the money, which means they can then spend more. So it's just a growing process, isn't it? But they've got to be patient.
You think they're growing, or have the Saudis just lost interest? Because there's so much
let me ask you guys a question about that. I was thinking about the other day. We know that leagues regarded as the best in the world, and people want to be part of it, right? But do you think we're coming to the time when, let's say, that clubs that are bankrolled by nations, right, by sovereign nations, like Newcastle, right, who have an idea of what they want to do, we want to make this more, but then they get there and they find out that even though they have the money, as you said, Jason, they have all the money in the world, they can't spend it. So
Can't hear the rest of it, Tony. Can't hear the rest of it, mate. Tony, you're on mute, mate. You're on mute.
Did you hear most of it?
I read most of it, but I didn't hear the end of it.
Oh, okay.
But what McAteer's saying, I just think he's bitter towards us. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't want us to compete, really, because, like I said, he's Liverpool legend, and he's quite happy to see Liverpool, the Big Six, going from strength to strength. And here we are. They want to put us in our place. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
if we don't get Champions League this next season, or we don't win a trophy, we're going to end up losing players like Anthony Gordon. We're going to lose Bruno Guimaraes or Isak as well. So we're going to go back from phase 3 back to phase 1 again in a project. We're on phase 3, and this is the worst phase at the minute, Tony. Do you know what I mean? We've got to grow and grow and grow, up and up and up, yeah? At the minute, we're just in the middle. We're just not going nowhere in a minute.
Yeah, absolutely, John. What I'll do is I'll try and get this video shared on here, and then I can right. If I do that, and then what I'll do is if I can get it on screen then, and then people can hear the full thing. It's on for 1 minute and 42 seconds, but obviously so like I say, it's on for 1 minute and 42 seconds, but I'll pop that on in a moment, guys, and you can hear the properly again. See what people's thoughts are on this, what these prats at Behind Sports have to say. Remember, Behind Sports don't like Saudi anyway, do they? Because, you know, we know why. Because of the BLQ and all this sort of carry on. So they're probably always going to have a bit of beef towards us. Let's be honest. Right. Let's see. It's processing now, so I will put that video on in a couple of seconds, guys. Bear with me. Bear with. And I will pop this on as soon as it loads up. Here we go.
Well, does not mean you can go out and spend as much as you'd like, or what people think. You know, they are under restrictions. The club's got to grow. I think they've exceeded expectations in that first season, and everyone sort of was on the bandwagon. Oh, here we go. But financial constraints have obviously limited them doing what they probably would love to do, which is obviously go into the market and attract the big names. The club's got to grow to generate the money, which means they can then spend more. So it's just a growing process, isn't it? But they've got to be patient.
You think they're growing, or have the Saudis just lost interest? Because there's so much more.
Let me ask you guys a question about that. I was thinking about the other day. We know the league's regarded as the best in the world, and people want to be part of it, right? But do you think we're coming to the time when, let's say, that clubs that are bankrolled by nations, right, by sovereign nations, like Newcastle, right, who have an idea of what they want to do, we want to make this the most, but then they get there and they find out that even though they have the money, as you said, Jason, they have all the money in the world, they can't spend it. So, therefore, what is their thoughts about Newcastle then? Where can they take Newcastle? How long will it take them to get Newcastle there? These guys are not in there to wait 10 years for success. They want it immediately. And they'd love to spend 400 million every break, or 500 million every break in players, but they won't be allowed to.
How long will it take them to take Newcastle into the elite?
A lot longer than it took Manchester City.
No, here's the answer. Never.
That's what I'm saying. So surely then a sovereign nation who's bankrolling these clubs and has not gotten what they thought back are not going to hang around.
I refer you to my previous answer. Never.
Right. For a start, Hairy Hands is an absolute cock, isn't he? I mean, come on. He says we're never going to join the elite. That guy hates us. Hates us with a passion. They all hate us there. What did you make of that, John? That's absolutely disgusting. That to me was the most biased you'll ever see, ever. Because not one of them could praise us, could they?
Mate, I'm not being funny, right? But they don't want us to compete. They don't want us to compete. You can tell by the way they acted. Andy Greer trying his best to say some good things to us, but oh man, they just. Jason McIntyre say we've got to grow. We have to grow. We have to. What's the word? What's that word I'm looking at? Yeah, come back to me. Right? Organic, or you have to do it organically. Yeah. But for me, I just think they're just jealous. They just don't want us to be successful. They're just quite happy with the big six, and for us to keep out of the way. Do you know what I mean? But I think you're right. Richard Keys doesn't want us ever to be top four or win anything, yeah? Because he doesn't like Newcastle United, and everyone knows that.
Lee says 3 knobheads together, dumb, and dumber.
Cheers, thank you.
Now McAteer stopped up, we can remove our Ian Max. McAteer has Jan Molby's accent. Jan Molby was a tank, yeah, he was a good player though, wasn't he? Whenever a Scouser talks on TV, do they have to use the windscreen wipers on the cameras? Silvestri looks the same as he did 25 years ago. They are just jealous, says Jody. Absolutely they are. Andrew says, but other clubs can run $1 billion on debt. Absolutely. Boycott the 6 teams. Jody says, all of them told the same thing about City 10 years ago when they took over by Dubai. Richard Keys is a real pork chop, says Foxy. Andrew says, pervert Keys. Wacky says, got to laugh that everyone's against Saudi money, yet our government are constantly wanting Saudi investment. Exactly. That's just, yeah, absolutely. Jody says, one thing I want to say is we should have won that Carabao Cup final. We should have won that. Absolutely. I just think at the time, we just didn't turn up. That's the problem. If we turned up, we would have won that, no problem whatsoever. I mean, look, like I say, well said from Gary Neville. You see what Gary Neville said. He was absolutely spot on. Then you see what these prats say, and there's nothing there from them. They don't care whatsoever. Not 1 ounce of, so look. Lee says that's why they were sacked from Sky talking crap. I don't have a problem with what McAteer said, more annoyed with Keys, the better end. I can't stand him, says Ian. He's an absolute better end, he is. Can't stand us. Keys. Wacky Angler says if Pope and Bruno were playing in that cup final, I think you'd have won that. Bruno did play in that. It was only Pope that was missing, wasn't it? Because he was suspended because he got sent off the week before against Liverpool. But Carriers played. I thought Carriers played well in that cup final. It was just the fact is, we just, as a team, we just didn't seem to. We seem to have stage fright. If I'm honest, that's what it was. I thought it was John Higgins, the snooker player. But yeah, I mean, look, John, we're going into the international break. 3 games in, 7 points. You know, haven't lost. 5th in the table. You happy with 7 points, John? Did you expect 7 points?
To be honest with you, I expected probably about 5, something like that. But when you look at it, right, I mean, 7 points in 3 games, I think that's the best stuff for quite a while, to be fair. Now we've got to retain this, Tony. Yeah, we've got to retain that. We've got to go to Wolves next game. That's going to be tricky. I'll be there. I'll be going to the Fulham game as well. I'll be there. Proper fan. I'm a proper fan as well, but not a fake fan. I'm a proper fan, yeah? For those who want to troll us, carry on. But you know what? You never done YouTube. You never been to the games, yeah? So they should get back in the game. Cry to their mamas, cry to their aunties, cry to the 4 Wolves, right? Cry to their mates. It's a get in the bin, a lot, you scum. Anyway, sorry, Tony, but look, let's be real, right? I mean, Wolves going to be a tough game. Wolves have bought Tom Andrews, so I think he's a really good player, by the way. And I think Gary Neal will turn it around. And you've got Fulham. I enjoy going to Fulham as well, being there twice and won twice. And Fulham spent. And I think it's going to be a different Fulham side, which I think they're going to do really well this season under Marco Silva. That's going to be tough. So I'll take 4 points out of those 2 games. And then we've got Man City. And that'll be a tough game as well. That'll be a really tough game. But Tony, let's be real. I'm not gonna lie. Winning before the international break is a fantastic feeling. Yeah, it's fantastic. So we can go in and put the wrongs to the rights and that. But if you get beat going in the national break, that ain't good. Do you know what I mean? But I think so far so good. We're not playing well at all, Tony. We're not playing well at all. I'm not gonna lie, because you look at the game yesterday, and I think you might have spoken about it. We're giving the ball away. Anthony Gordon giving the ball away. Bruno, good at defensive work, but he hangs on the ball way too long, and he got caught out once or twice. Joe Linton's passes was class for Jacob Murphy. Squared it to Isak. Bosh, 2-1. Game set and done. But Spurs should have scored 3 or 4 before they got the equalising goal. And then they should have scored with Maddison before we got that winning goal. But do you know what? I thought we played well. I thought Emma Kraft was my man of the match yesterday. He was fantastic yesterday, Tony.
Emil Kraft, it was your man of the match, yeah?
8 out of 10. I think he was great yesterday. He was solid. He doesn't get the credit that he deserves. He reads the game well. He puts in great blocks as well. There's an instant when Dan Burn messed up, 20 yards from goal. Spurs could have broke, and I think he did really well to get back Kraft.
I thought Kraft played really, really well yesterday, John, if I'm honest. You know, and look, he hasn't really put a foot wrong. You know, he's done a great job. Yes, he will be out of the team, you know, once Share's back, which is for the Wolves game. And he probably fully expects that. But look, at the end of the day, you know, he's came in, he's done the job that's needed. And, you know, he's just a solid professional that we've got there. I'm going to run through my top 3. I'm going to run through my top 3 who I thought was decent yesterday. And look, so this is hard to pick a top 3 who I think, and I'm going to start at number 3. So number 3 for me was Harvey Barnes. I thought he took his goal really well. Did okay as far as I'm concerned. So I say scored the opening goal for us. So for me, 3rd place is Harvey Barnes. 2nd place, it's hard, but it's Nick Pope. I thought Nick Pope was tremendous after that error that led to their goal. After that, he pulled off some fantastic saves against Madison, Porro, He kept us in that game. We would have lost 3 or 4 if it wasn't for Nick Pope. So for me, Nick Pope is the second best player of the day. And my man of the match is probably going to surprise a lot of people. But I'm going for J7. I thought he was tremendous yesterday. His energy in midfield, getting back, the ball he played through to Murphy that led to the goal for Isak. The guy was exceptional yesterday. Ran the midfield again for us. So for me, Joe Linton gets man of the match for me without a shadow of a doubt. I thought he was absolutely tremendous. One thing I am going to say is I wish Bruno would stop messing about with the ball at the edge of the box and just clear it at times. Sometimes he dithers on it too long and then he does end up getting it taken off him. I would prefer if he just got rid of it. What do you make of that top 3 that I've got there, John?
Yeah, I think you got that's a fair shout, Tawley. For me, the top 3 for me, I thought Harvey Barnes played well yesterday, so I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go third. No, actually, tell her like it's a hard one, really. I've gone 4. I set him at Craftsman man in the match for me. I'm gonna say I'll go put Nick Pope in as well, but I'm gonna go different. Yeah. Number 3, I'm gonna go with Nick Pope. Secondly, Joe Linton. First place, Emil Kraft. I'll try to put a space in Harvey B.
Yeah.
So
that's fair enough, John. I'm just going to nip into some comments, see what people are putting here. Leeds FC, hi mate, hope you're well. Do you think any of the football players today would have lasted in the 70s, 80s tackles and pitches? Absolutely not, mate. Not a chance, Leeds.
Not a chance.
If you're new to the channel, do hit the subscribe and do hit the like as well. Yes, we've got 42 watching, so if you don't mind smashing those likes, that'd be fantastic. Thank you. Foxy says, playing Wolves at the wrong time. Andre will make his full debut in midfield with João Gomez. Proper Brazilian test against Bruno and Joe Linton.
Big test.
Yeah. Tristan says, would you sell Bruno to bring in 4 top youth players to build up a top side soon? Because for me, Bruno is an asset, and for us to build, we have to go abroad to find top talent. I wouldn't, mate. I wouldn't sell him, no.
For me.
You don't sell your best players.
Definitely not. At least
Murphy assisted 2 goals. Yeah, Murphy assisted 2 goals, Barnes and Pope. Totally agree with you, Tony, says Lee. Been a few whispers about you signing the free agent. Don't know if it's true or not, says Wacky Angler. Top 3 was Barnes, Livermento and Kraft. Yeah, look, Livermento had a good game as well. And Kraft, like I say, it was hard to pick those 3. And that's the 3 that I come up. And I was just going to... It's funny that somebody's just mentioned that we're linked with a free agent. And I don't know who it is, by the way. But I was talking to somebody today and I said, would you take this guy at Newcastle United? Now, he's on a free and you can sign him now because the transfer window's not open, but you can sign him because he's a free agent. And I think he's still got a lot to offer. Yes, he may be 29, but for me, he would be a massive asset in the team. There he is, Rabiot. Would you take him, John?
Yeah, 100%. Look, he's aggressive in the midfield, his passability as well. He scores, and he likes to take the games as well. 110%. The problem is though, his mum is his agent, yeah, and she's top dollar for this guy. It's a shame because I think he needs to find a club. Hopefully, I'd love him to come to Newcastle United. But if he's going to leave, I'm going to be honest with you. I think he'd probably go to Turkey because Turkey market's still opening now, to be fair. Yeah,
but John, we can sign a free agent now because he's out of contract. We
did it with
Karius, remember?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why not because you need it. If you're always looking for world-class players to come for Newcastle United, this guy fits the bill. And if he does come, we know Willock's out injured. Delano's going to be out for, but I think he comes straight in. He comes in the team as well. I think he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Would anybody in the chat take him? What do you think of the England team? Yeah, I think that's not a bad side. I think, Lee Carsey's in charge for temporary and he's done well. Some Spanish bloke and more so, I think, says Wacky Angler. Yeah, he's a centre-half, isn't he, or something? You'll never be a top side, says Tristan, as every top side sells to rebuild stronger side and free up money to stay, put you keep rising wages like Leicester. I mean, look, I know what you're saying, but it's a hard choice, isn't it? It all depends. It depends if anybody wants to pay the money for him. That's the thing as well. Yes, says Colton, he would take Rabiot. I don't think some of the players would have handled that old leather case ball hitting them, says Lee. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, looking ahead to the weekend, I mean, England on Saturday play Ireland at 5 p.m. It's in Dublin at the Aviva Stadium in the Nations League. So that'll be the first big test for Lee Carsley. And then so he'll be going to Ireland and he used to play in that stadium for the Irish team. It's ironic that, isn't it, that he's England manager and he used to play for Ireland and play in that stadium for them. And then on Tuesday, England then have a game at Wembley against Finland on the 10th. So some games coming up there for the national break. So yeah, on Saturday I will be doing a pre-match show ahead of that Ireland game. So it'll be around probably about 3:30, something like that. So do join me for that one. I will also do some sort of preview towards the end of this week as well, probably Thursday, Friday. Preview the Women's Championship because Newcastle United women are now in the Championship and their first game is on Sunday away at the London City Lionesses. So that's where they start their campaign off down in Bromley. Let's hope the lasses can win that. It would be absolutely fantastic to see them get a good start in that league. But that's what I've got coming up this week anyway. I'll just go to the comments and I'll ask John what he's got. Signed in for 2 seasons, says Colton, playing in 90. Yeah, exactly. Boxy says, Rabiot, the player, absolutely you take him, but he demands too much in a sign-on fee plus wages of at least 225k. But once he gets paid, that everyone else will want similar. Yeah, you're right. Wacky Angler had a mate a ball blasted at my thigh and had every panel of the ball printed on my leg. Yeah, John, so we'll come to the end of the show. I mean, what have you got coming up this week?
Well, I was going to do a podcast show tomorrow about 8 o'clock. Will you be in Darts, will you?
Yeah, I will be. Yeah, tomorrow, mate.
I'll try and get Pete on as well. We're going to try and get another lad to come on as well so we can talk about the podcast show. I might even get Jason on if he's available. I may get, if he's feeling that as well. Well, I'd love to get a couple of others as well. But it's going to be a good show. We're going to talk about, if you do get on, we're going to talk about the transfer window. We're going to talk about the Spurs game. We're going to talk about a bit of national break. And we're going to talk about other things as well. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. That'll be either Tuesday or Wednesday. But I will speak to Pete and hopefully get one on as well. And Wednesday, I think I've got a very special guest. I'm going to let him know. But I think it could be Lee Ryder from the Chronicles. So I may get him on Wednesday. So, I'm going to send him a DM and let him know close to the time he's going to be on. If not, then he could be a busy guy. So, love to get Lee Ryder on the show on Wednesday. So, that'd be a great show if I can get him on. And can't do any more transfer shows now, can we? Because it's over. So we'll figure out a few. Just keep your eyes peeled. But vlogs, I'll be doing vlogs in 2 weeks' time at the Wolves game. If you ever watch my latest vlogs, guys, please go on to 2 videos. I've done the Matchday vlog yesterday, and also I've done the fan cam as well. So if you stick a thumb up on the fan cam, that'd be brilliant. So I've interviewed Pete Proudlock, Sharkey, Warren, Schilling, Kenny, and I've also interviewed Paul from Two Review.
Nice one, John. Nice one. Oh yes, and I've got to mention that I will be on a show on Wednesday on Harry Scarf's channel. It's his
Nice
Premier
one.
League show, so I'm on there at 7:30. So if you want to watch it on, come and join me and watch me on there. Be on with some of our guests. So that's what I've got coming up this week. So I've got a busy week coming up, and then obviously at the women's game on Sunday as well. So busy weekend as well.
Yeah.
So I shall be down in Bromley to hopefully see the women get off to a winning start. But if you have liked tonight's show, please do smash the like. It does help the channel. And also, if you're brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe, be part of the great community. Also, hit the bell notification to keep you up to date with any live shows, upcoming shows, or pre-records as well. Right, let's just get into some comments. Colton says, if I was good enough, I'd play for Newcastle free. Just pay the taxi fare. Lee says, great show tonight, Tony and John. Hit the thumbs up. And yeah, thank you very much, Lee. Don't forget to hit the like, says Wacky Angler. Newcastle women signed the player today from Crystal Palace, says Ian Fleming. I've not seen that, Ian. I know they were after Nikita Paris. I don't know what's happened with that. I haven't heard any more on that one, so I don't know if that's even still going ahead or what. I don't know. But then, I know there's no FFP or anything, is there? So, oh yeah, I've just seen that. Isabella Sibley, that's who they've signed. Yeah. And she's been photographed at the stack. That's where they've done the video. Yeah. Tim Vickery, part 2 is needed. Vickery special.
I've done with Tim Vickery last year, and he was absolutely amazing. And I would love to get Tim on again. And if I get him on again, guys, you'd be the first to know, especially Foxy as well.
Great show, guys, says Ian. Get Adam P on your show, Johnny's great.
Yeah, I'll definitely get him on as well. I've got to ask if he fancy coming on there. I've got to ask him this week if he can come on. That'd be amazing again. If anything, I shall let you guys know.
Great show, lad, says Gary Douglas. Cheers, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Bless up. Gary, bless up, mate. Bless up.
Yeah, we need to get experience in as well with the squad. Ciao for now, says Andrew. What about Shearer admitting he got on the Mackems train? Yeah, I mean, Shearer came back on Saturday on the train, yet he kept his head down, didn't he? And the Mackems were singing songs about Shearer and all that, and cheer up Alan Shearer and all this. And yeah, absolutely funny. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's funny. Andrew hits the thumbs up. Yeah, seen that, Ronald, says Ian. Great show, says Julie as well. Yeah, and I will do a match vlog as well on Sunday from the Lionesses, so keep an eye out for that one as well. Before I go, John, did you enjoy Gateshead, by the way? What did you? Because obviously the first time we went to a Gateshead game.
I enjoyed it, Tony. Really enjoyed it, and I thought the atmosphere. It wasn't a big crowd, you know that, but at the end of the day, I think the fans were amazing. And when we stood in the middle, stood up as well, and I was made welcome. I think I had 2 photos as well. They recognised this as well, and I mean, there's 2 lasses sat on me right. I mean, her dad said, "Get a clip in," so I did a clip in as well, and they just put the thumbs up as well, which is fantastic. The game itself, Tony, I thought Gateshead played some fantastic stuff. 2 great headed goals there. One at half time, one at the end, and for what I've seen of them, if they carry on what they're doing, it could be a special season for them. But it's a long season. But I think playoffs would be good for them. But Gateshead Council, please help them out. Just support them. Get them up to League 2. That's all you got to do.
Did you have to pay cash at the turnstile, John?
I did. I paid 22 quid £22 I'll pay for that. But you know what? You just got to do it, haven't you? You got to do it. And it's nice to look after the smaller non-league clubs as well. So I think £22 is right. And I'm happy to pay that. And I've just got fantastic, honest, entertaining football. Do you know what I mean? Eastleigh were tough. I get that. But I thought Gateshead were really good. I mean, I like their number 10. Their number 10's good. He's so busy in the mid. And I'd definitely do it again. And you know what? Brilliant. But they looked after us as well, by the way. They really looked after us. Many of them knows us as a YouTuber. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Got Chatham as well.
Yeah, they're absolutely great bunch there. As I say, when I used to live up, when I lived in Newcastle, I used to go, if I didn't go to the away game, I used to go and watch Gateshead because I used to be playing at home when Newcastle were away. So I used to go and watch Gateshead with a load of other Newcastle fans, you know, so, and they always get good crowds in because a lot of Toon fans go as well, and especially if, like, we're playing a game on a Sunday, a lot of Toon fans will go on the Saturday at the Gateshead game. Give them support, you know. I'd love to see Gateshead get in the Football League, I really would.
110%. And we look at the stadium, right? It looks a nice stadium. It looks a nice stadium. And, you know, almost 11,500 people there. And I tell you what, though, if they could do with a cover as well, by the way, if they can get a cover in case it does rain, do you know what I mean? But it's just a fantastic stadium to play football, do you know what I mean? But
absolutely,
I'd definitely go again. I mean, big up to Gateshead. Absolutely fantastic fans. And I'll suggest you get a chance to go there. Do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, guys and girls, that's us come to the end of this show. And as I always say at every end of every show, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. Yes, we know the transfer window's not been great. Let's hope we carry on this streak after the international break. And let's hope, fingers crossed, we get through without too many injuries till January and see if we can strengthen then. But until then, I hope you have enjoyed the show. And I will see you all later. It's bye-bye from me.
You take care, Tony. I'll win the lads. And watch what you're doing. Happy birthday, Julie J.
Yeah. Away the lads and the lasses.
Win the lads and the lasses.